Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to discuss with you the Marty Rathbun ads that appear before ex-Scientologist YouTube videos, as well as give you a little bit more of an update on Marty Rathbun and some more of my opinions on Marty. But before I get to that, I did want to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Suppressive Merchandise. Suppressive Merchandise is my brand new online merchandise store for men, women, and children, featuring anti-Scientology slogans and pop culture items. Some of the t-shirt slogans include, "Do I look brainwashed to you?" Suppressive Person, Squirrel Busters, All Hail Lord Xenu, and Mangotology. I spent many weeks working on making these items and creating a really great line of anti-Scientology wear. To see more, go to suppressivemerchandise.com to browse my shop and to get more information. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of my designs and learning more about my online store, you can go to suppressivemerchandise.com. So you guys have been flooding me with messages regarding what's actually going on with these Marty Rathbun ads and what do they actually mean and why is Scientology using Marty Rathbun in their ads. So I wanted to kind of get into that a little bit with you guys and kind of give my thoughts on the whole Marty Rathbun ads on Facebook. And I was actually just thinking about it the other day too, just in regards to Marty and everything. People always ask me, like, what was it like actually working with Marty? What was he like behavior-wise? And I know I talked about it a little bit, but I just been thinking more and more about his behavior on set and everything, and how I just think that Marty's just basically a very unstable person to have worked with or been around, and he's someone that I know now that is just not a trustworthy person. Marty was someone who was very high up in Scientology for a very long time, so it makes sense that when he was on set, he was very, I don't know, I know I'm a different type of person than Marty or something is, because I'm just very like lighthearted and I'm very like kind and friendly, especially if I'm working like on set of something, such as when I was on my Scientology movie. I'm very polite to all the cast and all the crew, and I'm not someone who's gonna show up and become a diva, for example, or refill my green tea with honey and lemon. Like, I'm not like that. Even though someone in the comments even was like, oh, Stephen Mango's such a drama queen or whatever. But I'm really not. I'm very down to earth. If you guys know me, like, in real life, I'm not like that in any way. But, you know, some people actually are. Like, they feel like they're entitled or something. And Marty always has this air of like superiority, and I get that with a lot of other ex-Scientologists. I don't want to get into that too much because I don't want to offend any ex-Scientologists who kind of have like a god complex, but there are some that feel like, hey, I was in X status position, so that means that I demand this level of respect even in like the real world. Like, we're in the WOG world right now, right? And these ex-Scientologists still sometimes use their level or status. For example, I was OT8, class 8, patron meritorious with the IAS, and I also build an ideal org, or, you know, they have like their little titles, and they still use that in order to try to command a certain level of respect. But if this is an organization that doesn't actually, it's a cult criminal organization by LRH, who was a fraud man, and it was all made up. So essentially, when you think about that, why should someone have still some sort of level of like, oh, I'm so important, when it was all fake to begin with? It wasn't real. And I know people spend 10, 20, 30 years, whatever, of their life in this organization and feeling, you know, they want to feel like they didn't waste all their time doing something that was basically for nothing. But in regard to Marty, Marty has this sort of level of how he holds his head up in the eye in a certain way. Marty holds his head up in the air in a certain way and tries to give off this impression as if he's a very important figure in the world because he was Inspector General of the Church of Scientology. So again, he has that, but he was a very serious attitude when he was on set. I know that's not what this video is about. We're getting to what the ads are about, but just very quickly, since it's on my mind. So, but then he'd like throw these temper tantrums and he'd go off on this cast and crew and threatening to shut down the whole entire production because he has certain mood swings. He was very unstable, and he wants to try to come off as if he's this very educated, well-liked person. And even like in the way like he uses words in literature, like on his blog or other places, Marty tries to act like he's very much belonging to like a high social status or something, and he's really not more educated than anyone else in the world. So I think Marty's just a very loose cannon. And especially since I know, guys, I know there's people who have their own viewpoints on different things, whether it's on Marty or whether it's on Scientology, whatever. But I know from my personal experience working with Marty Rathbun, I have my hand on my heart here, I'm taking it so seriously, because I get offended if people try to be like, oh, who the hell is this kid on YouTube, like, talking or whatever. I know what it was like when Marty Rathbun sent me a script that said the whole dash Marty Rathbun, and I've shown this in prior videos, where Marty actually sends me the script to the whole and then wants to claim later on his blog, not about me, but just in general, that he did not, write the scene, he did not direct the scene, when I got verbal direction from Marty's mouth. So I just don't know why that Marty wants to try to twist things, and this is where the ads are going to be coming into play and why Marty's now in favor of Scientology and speaking out in favor of Scientology, because that's why Marty can't do a video about me. He's done it about every other ex-Scientologist, whether he talked about, Chris Shelton, Tony Ortega, who's not an ex-Scientologist, but just a journalist, Aaron Smith-Levin, whatever. Like, he's talked about all these different guys. But he's never made a video addressing Steve Mango. And Stephen Mango has 60,000 views, 100,000 views on videos about Marty. And they're very well, widely seen. And Marty still hasn't made a comment to me, or I've even written to him and he's not said anything. So we know that Marty's not able to say anything to me because I'm telling the truth on the situation, since I show receipts and everything. So Marty really doesn't have like a leg to stand on when it comes to me. So anyways, very passionate about that right now for some reason. I don't know why. Marty's just been getting like on my last nerves, because yes, I know they appear in my videos, these ads, but they also appear in other people's ads. Now, Marty, again, was the Inspector General of the Religious Technology Center, basically second in command to David Miscavige, in charge of ethics, and it's a very important post, I guess we can say, in the Church of Scientology. Now, Marty left, and of course that's going to be a devastating blow to Scientology, because Marty has a lot of data, a lot of information. He's seen stuff. He knows like where the bodies are buried, and he has blood on his fingers. So I believe that Marty has a lot of information that can really take down the Church of Scientology. And I feel like he spoke out, obviously, on his blog, and when he was actually like out of the church, he did speak out in, a lot of big ways, but I feel like he hasn't told all. I know many people have said that, and Marty hasn't necessarily come forward and said everything that he knows about the Church of Scientology. Now, Scientology is obviously scared because now they have a huge defector that can basically take down their group, maybe aid in their, destruction. So Scientology started attacking Marty as they attack other critics. Again, they haven't attacked me. They have a blog post from someone who may be OSA, but again, they haven't even said anything about me, which I find very interesting, given how much I've spoken out on YouTube or on TV or like various different places I've spoken out, and Scientology still never made an official statement. So Scientology, I'm waiting to see what you have to say about me, because I'm really curious to see what fabrication they will come out about me. But again, they haven't said anything, even though I've been speaking out for 4 years now, 4 years or something like that. So very interesting, Scientology, that you had nothing to say to me. But then all of a sudden there was the Monique Rathbun lawsuit. I feel like Scientology and Marty started entering into their settlement agreement because David Miscavige can't get deposed. He's not going to be the type to speak under oath and being able to say things about like the whole, or say things about surveillance or about squirrel busters and all these different things. So I think that they obviously did enter into the settlement agreement. But I feel, in my opinion, that these videos that Scientology are putting out are the result of a settlement agreement. And like I mentioned in a prior video, you get a settlement from Scientology every 6 months. You don't get a settlement in lump sum where they just give you $2 million and say, shut up. They give you small payments, so you follow their like compliant orders in order to abide by their wishes for what they want you to do in order to have such settlement agreement go into place. So I think that these settlement videos are part of that. Now, Marty went on to a whole spree first. Like, I was one of the first people to address these videos that he made. He went on this like whole entire spree of videos where there's probably like 60 parts of a video. He was buying views on the videos to try to get them to be more popular. and no one was actually watching them to begin with. Like one video will get 10,000 views and the next one will get like 383 views or something. So like these videos were just him sitting in his suit, and maybe he changed like the backdrop a little bit once or twice, and he sat there and he was just discussing different points about, you know, Leah, and talking about Tony Ortega and the Troika and all these different things that we've heard about that have come out of Marty's mouth. And then all of a sudden these campaign ads about Leah were like heavy hitting, like boom, 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 like they just kept coming on every single video, like 10 ads. You know, you click on one of my videos and there'd be like all these Leah Remini ads, or Marty Rathbun ads that later appeared, but you know, there'd be people, whether it's Leah Remini's dad or whether it was, you know, different people that Leah, you know, may have known, her former auditor, like whatever, like there was all these different people that were appearing in ads speaking out against Leah. So then Scientology is just trying to play it as if they were using Marty's video. Like, this is how Scientology wants to portray it. Oh my gosh, Marty Rathbun, the former high-up official inside Scientology, who became an ex-Scientologist, is now speaking out against the anti-Scientology cult. So they're pretending like they almost are extracting videos from Marty's channel and then using it in their ads. Like, look what we found. Like, oh my God, Marty Rathbun is now speaking out in favor of us as Scientologists, and we're going to use that in our ads. We want other people to think that, no, like, we didn't make Marty do it. We just, you know, got this video from YouTube of Marty, and now we're going to put it out there in favor of us, like on our websites and stuff. Like, even, you know, Marty, who's, you know, one of the biggest critics, is now speaking out against the anti-Scientology cult. And that makes no sense, Scientology, because I know that if I made a video, if I sat down on YouTube and I started speaking out against Leah, and I started saying XYZ about Leah, like whatever the hell, if I was saying Leah is the biggest con artist, her show is rigged, whatever, Scientology isn't then going to take my video and advertise using my video and buying ads. They're not going to be using me because I'm an ex-Scientologist, because then they're giving me credibility. So then, in that same token, Scientology will know that people will start going to my page to see what else I have to say, and then I'm talking about all the abuses, all the crimes, the extortion, the lies, everything that actually happens. Then you're going to give me credibility on everything else I say. Because if you say that I'm truthful about that, why am I not truthful about the credit cards? Why am I not truthful about, you know, being locked at Celebrity Center? Why am I not truthful about all those other things? You know what I mean? So Scientology can't use my video, if there was such a video out there, because then they're almost giving truth to my other claims if they're giving me some form of credibility to be using me in their ads. So these ads are 100% a Scientology piece, and it's just so crazy to me that someone could then go back into Scientology after all, like, the history of the fighting, the back and forth, and the squirrel busts and surveillance and everything, to think that you would still be willing to accept $2 million, for example. You'd still be willing to accept that after all you've been through. You would be willing to take the money and then speak out in favor. I get taking the money and shutting up, like maybe Debbie Cook or someone like that did. I mean, she spoke out, but now she's like silenced from speaking out again. But in terms of, you know, Marty, be willing to go back on their side, it's just utter like craziness. So what I'm going to do right now is go and react to these videos and some of the claims that Marty makes. I'm going to go on YouTube, click on maybe even one of my videos, and see if one of Marty's ads pop up. I'm sure they will. I'm sure it's not going to take us more than 20 seconds to find an ad. And then we're going to address Marty and his claims. So I typed in Marty's name on YouTube, because this will be the quickest way to probably get a Marty triggered ad. So as you can see, the top videos under Marty, so it goes Marty Rathbun, me, Aaron Smith Levin, me, Marty, me, Marty. So it's like, come on, Marty, you don't have anything to say, and I am one of the biggest critics against you right now. Anyway, so here we go. Let's click on one of my videos. Marty Rathbun is back in Scientology and scamming YouTube, and my apology.
So at one point, Leah Remini told me she after 2 years of careful work through her publicists and Rinder and Ortega had.
I really love how they have like the words on there, and I know why they do it, in case someone has the video on mute, that they could still see like the transcript of what the person's saying. But it's so funny, like in these ads, and they have like all like the words of what Marty's actually saying. It's like, we're not idiots. Like, we can hear what Marty's saying. You know what I mean? Just crazy. So, okay, so Careful Worth, through her publicist, has successfully come up
with unlimited financial backing
backing
to go after Scientology, and she was going to create a production to do so. And she told me that she was so well backed that I could write my own ticket to participate as a producer.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. Stop the hate, stop the bigotry, LeahReminiAftermath.com. Okay, in terms of having, like, say, like a television show, such as what Leah has, and you have a production company, you need financial backing in order to, say, fly to Florida and to interview, like, people in Clearwater, to go to LA, or to have a camera crew, or a makeup artist, or like whatever like different stuff there is. Like, there is a cost to have a production and put it on television, and anyone who's participating on a show isn't going to do it for free necessarily, in the sense of, like, say, Mike Rinder or Leah. I get like guests who come like forward with their stories and they speak to Leah. They may not be getting compensated. Allegedly, they don't get compensated to be on Leah's show, except for Mike and Leah. And I've even heard how much Leah makes, and it's a lot of money. But again, that's not what we're talking about. It's just the idea that, like, hey, she should be compensated for her time to tell these stories and all the hard work that goes into interviewing ex-members. I was interviewed to be on her show, like, not by Leah, but by like the producers and stuff like that. So I know how much work that they were putting into exposing Scientology. It's a very big job. So I get it if they're getting compensated to be on Leah's show. It's not a big secret that they're compensating like people to be on the show. And yeah, he could probably write his own ticket. He could probably say, I want, $50,000 a season, and then give Marty the $50,000 a season probably at the time. And I'm sure Leah probably would have paid it out, not her in particular, but the production company. And that's just what it is when you have a TV show. Like, there's nothing weird to me about that they're willing to compensate, but they're trying to make it seem as if it's more like, hey, like, we're going to pay you to tell lies. It's not like we're going to pay you to tell lies, or they're saying, Steve, come on the show for $5,000. We're going to give you a script and just utter off these lies about Scientology. Like, it's not the case. I've worked on anti-ex-Scientology productions. No one gave me a script. Louis Theroux didn't say, here, say this. Make up this story. Claim this or that. Exaggerate it. Can you drum up tears? Can you add a little extra color? No one's ever done that. I know what it's like because I've been there. So I just think it's totally crazy. Like, why is Scientology spending money on these ads specifically? Now think, what religious spiritual group is putting money that parishioners donate into hateful, vengeful messages against a former member of theirs, whether it's Leah or someone else? They're putting money into a vengeful hate campaign. That's not what a religion does, guys. I'm sorry. No matter how many different ways you can say there's some spiritual aspect to it, there's something else, like, there's not. There may be some good things in the technology here or there if you can really pick a few different things, but it's like this versus what actually happens and what they do. And people say, I want to stay in Scientology because, I'm having wins or gains. It's like, well, what about all the people they're harming? What about all the people that are really getting hurt by this group? So just really think about that, guys. If you like that little segment of me reacting to some of the different ads, I'd be happy to do that as like a little mini series. Maybe comment down below. Just let me know all your thoughts, guys. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button down below. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. It would really mean a lot to me if you guys aren't subscribed to click the subscribe button, a little bell icon. That's going to notify you when I make new videos. So in case there's any late breaking news or anything that really comes up, you guys are going to get notified, so you guys can be one of the first to know about different things that are coming out there about Scientology. Also, if you haven't already heard, I have a Patreon page. Patreon allows me to make videos such as this. I have people who pledge to my channel on a monthly basis. It's just as much as 1 cup of coffee or as much as your Netflix subscription, and then you'd be able to basically help an independent small content creator like myself be able to go against the big ugly beast that is Scientology. So if you do support these videos and me being able to speak out, and you want to be able to see more of me being able to do what I love to do, which is speak out against Scientology and be an activist, you can go to patreon.com/SteveMango to learn a little bit more. I do have rewards and different things things. So it's not a one-way street. I do give back to my Patreon subscribers as well every single month. So if you guys are interested in learning more, go to patreon.com/StephenMango. More videos to come, guys. I have a whole entire phone like notepad filled with video ideas. I have so many things I want to talk about. I just have to actually sit down and film them. So again, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you'd enjoy this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching.